don't know if you want to braid these or not. So I don't care either way. Just up to you. What's going on, guys? I'm going to be doing our garlic harvest today, so I want to take you guys out to our garlic bed and show you guys how many garlic heads I'm able to harvest from one of these 6x3 raised beds. Alright guys, I planted all of this garlic in the first week of November, and a lot of people will tell you that you need to get like certified seed garlic. I got some local garlic here from the farmer's market, and I also had a friend that sent me some extra garlic that they had harvested the past year. So I planted 3 different varieties. I don't know what the one is from the farmer's market. I planted Music and German variety. I already harvested all of the German variety. I planted 1 row of I think about 15 cloves. And those were really big a couple of weeks ago, so I harvested those a little bit early. So let's just dig a couple up and see where they're at. I'll take my spade. Loosen the bulbs a little bit. You can see the ones that I bought at the farmer's market were a lot smaller than this. I planted really small cloves. I didn't know how they would do, and you can see it's a really nice big clove, or head, I'm sorry. So when you harvest these, a couple of things you might want to do while the roots are moist. It's a good time to cut those off, because once they're dry, they'll become harder to cut off. And then you just want to take off your outer skin, like this. And that'll leave you with a nice white bulb that you can leave to dry. I'm gonna leave these to dry out in the sun for a couple of days, as long as it doesn't rain. And then I'm gonna bring them inside and store them inside to dry. Probably another couple of weeks before we use them. So in this small 3x6 raised bed that I have here, I was able to get, I think I still have 62 heads that I'm going to harvest. I already harvested about 5, so 67 heads. I had room to grow more. A couple didn't quite grow. I picked a couple early just to see where they were at, and I also have some onions growing in this bed. So you can see how much food you can grow in such a small place. I mean, this is going to be a long time's worth of garlic for us. So garlic can store for around a year if you dry it properly. Like I said, when you take this off, you don't want to cut those roots down. Take off that outer leaf and just keep it dry. So it's important to get the garlic out before it might start rotting if it gets too wet. Luckily it's been not too wet this season, so got some nice bulbs. I'll show you guys the full harvest once I dig them all out. Another note I wanted to make about garlic is you might run out of garlic come spring, and before your garlic's ready, something called a garlic scape will come up, and that is the garlic's way of producing its own seeds, so it'll flower. At this point, all my garlic scapes I've cut off, so when that garlic scape comes off, it's important to cut that garlic scape off so that your garlic doesn't go to seed and puts all of its energy down into that bulb. So this is a part of a garlic scape that was still left on one of my plants. The nice thing about garlic scapes is they're edible. They're really nice. They're like a little tender, almost like green onion type, crunchy, garlicky flavored thing that you can use for garlic if you run out of garlic in the spring. In terms of fertilizing your garlic, what I do is in the fall, before I plant my garlic, about 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half before, I will take some blood meal and I'll rake it into my bed and let it break down for about a week, and then I'll come in and plant my garlic in the fall. And then come spring, once I see the greens come up, I'll come back and do another a side dressing of blood meal. And that's all I do. Some people will add bone meal as well. I had some pretty fresh compost in here, and that seemed to do fine for me. We'll see how it is next year if we end up needing to add any other nutrients. All right, guys, I just wanted to go over how to prepare your garlic heads for storage. So I got my garden pruners here, a little 5-gallon bucket. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna trim these roots off while they're still wet. This will become harder to trim off once they're dry. And then I'm just gonna take this outer leaf. As you can see, this one's that's kind of brown. Just peel it off. And that will reveal a nice white garlic head for you. Ready to dry. So like I said, I'm gonna leave these out in the sun for probably a couple days as long as it doesn't rain. You don't wanna leave them out in the sun too long because it'll cause these to start to turn purple. But after that, I'm gonna bring them inside. I think Alexa might braid these up into some garlic braids. Let's see. All right, thanks guys. Alright guys, I wanted to show you guys my final garlic harvest here. We have 91 heads. So that's mostly off, 80% of it is off of a 6x3 raised bed. I had another row, about 15 heads in another bed. But yeah, we got a pretty nice harvest here. This is what I harvested today. Right here you can see. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.